In June 1979, several members of the talent roster and behind-the-scenes personnel left Southeastern Championship Wrestling out of frustration involving backstage politics with Ron's brother, Robert Fuller, who was considered lazy in terms of booking the territory and spent many nights partying and felt his spot in Southeastern was owed to him since he was a member of the Welsh Fuller family.
It was also alleged that Ron Fuller was stealing money from the talent, even though his reputation among many veteran stars had never suggested he was anything but fair and honest. The incident which finally triggered the split occurred when Bob Roop and Ron Wright allegedly caught the ticket sellers stealing money from the gate at a house show. After confronting Fuller, Roop was convinced he had been acting under the promoter's orders.
Led by Bob Roop, Ronnie Garvin, Bob Orton Jr., and Boris Malenko,
started All-Star Championship Wrestling and
fought a 6-month promotional war over the Knoxville territory.
Also,
many of these defectors later joined the Kentucky-based outlaw promotion International Championship Wrestling, owned and operated by Angelo Poffo. As well made a 20-minute video which was never released called Plan B. Not to be confused with the popular morning after birth control pill, in which Roop, Garvin, Orton, Malenko, as well as Ron Wright spoke about their amateur backgrounds. Garvin also talked about growing up on the streets in Canada, fighting with bats and chains. They all ended their testimony with the same thing: I've yet to have a real wrestling match. In later years, all of the wrestlers who appeared on the video of Roop Garvin were interviewed on the Hannibal TV, and although Garvin laughed it off, Bob Roop appeared to try and stay in gimmick and gave somewhat evasive answers when questioned if any more videos existed. The video was intended to be submitted to the TV station to completely kill the territory if they didn't get their way.
In response, Ron Fuller filed a lawsuit as well as a temporary restraining order against Roop, Garvin, Orton, and Malenko, as well as All-Star Championship Wrestling, for attempting to run him out of business, claiming the defendants behaved in a disorderly and obnoxious manner and attempt to farce away customers. Fuller also claimed they made defamatory statements against him and was asking for $2.5 million in damages. Garvin was also involved in a storyline feud with Fuller over the NWA Southeastern Heavyweight Championship prior to the split. A week before his departure, Garvin won both the title and a boat owned by Fuller. He was supposed to lose the belt the following week. However, Garvin and his partners planned to run their first show instead. Garvin brought the title with him upon forming All-Star Championship Wrestling and continued making title defenses on All-Star and ICW shows. Southeastern Championship Wrestling did not acknowledge this and quietly purchased a new belt. In addition to winning the title, Garvin also won a boat owned by Fuller. This was part of a scripted storyline rather than a legitimate prize, but Garvin kept the boat. However, Fuller lost the case rather than expose the business by admitting the match was predetermined.
The guys finally had their way in. The Fullers left Knoxville and sold the promotion to Jim Crockett Promotions and Georgia Championship Wrestling. Fuller then made Birmingham his main end of the territory, with the Dothan end continuing to flourish.